I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes. And for a moment, please imagine all the small and big struggles. Ma'am, please close your eyes. All the small and big struggles that you go through in life. Every day, every year, in your life, all till now. Has anyone given you an award for it ever? For the personal struggles, for the scare that we have inside ourselves, and we come out, we show ourselves, we show up. We anyways present ourselves to our lives. Has anyone given you an award for it? So close your eyes, consider yourself a judge, and consider your own self the receiver of an award. And now I want you to clap for your own self. Personally, just for you. Suffering is redundant, like an outdated software on a cutting-edge machine. You and I are the cutting-edge machine. And suffering is absolutely useless. Since humanity was born, whenever it was born, we have been decoding suffering. We have been trying to understand what is suffering. The most famous seeker, do you know the most famous seeker who went out to find the root cause of suffering? So Buddha. He went out, for years he searched, and he found his answer in just one night. So many years of research, one night, the night of his enlightenment for which he is famous. I, in my words, call it the night he attained absolute clarity. Buddha proposed detachment. He said, if you are attached, you suffer. I, for 21st century, propose absolute clarity. It is obvious that we haven't taken Buddha seriously. You can see in our lives how attached we are. Can we imagine being detached from our families, from our passion, from our work? Not really. Why can we use absolute clarity? Because according to me, it's not the attachments that cause you trouble. It is the unclear dynamics within an attachment that cause you trouble. Say, for example, a child is being sexually abused by a relative. What happens to the child? The relative is the safe relationship in which the child can feel safe and express safely. But when a relative abuses the child is confused because there is unclear dynamics within the relationship. Somewhere the child is supposed to feel safe. That is exactly where the child is being violated. So what caused the suffering? The attachment, that is the relationship, or the unclear dynamics within that relationship? Now apply this to everything in life. It is not the relationships, it is not the work, it is not the struggle of life that causes trouble to us, that gives us heartache. It is the unclear dynamics everywhere that give us the heartache. Those who become clear, they transform their destiny. They change the society. They even bring a revolution to the prevalent paradigms. But you may not be ready for it yet. You may not agree with me that suffering is redundant, because in this paradigm, we glorify suffering. How many times have you heard of some rich kid doing something and you have felt that their achievement is hollow and empty because they got everything on a silver plate, right? And how many times do you glorify someone who has suffered and suffered and suffered and then achieved something? Not only do we celebrate this kind of achievement, we even venerate it. We talk about it, we exemplify it. Are you exemplifying achievement or are you exemplifying suffering? In this paradigm, we exemplify suffering. Absolute clarity is the antidote to suffering. Absolute clarity is an inside business. You know where it takes place? In your navel. Navel is the first port of contact between the universe and the form, the structure, right? In Hindu mythology, in the Vedas, it is the navel through which Brahma was born, not the mind, not the heart. And there is a reason for it, because at the navel is absolute clarity. This absolute clarity, which I experienced at the age of 14 and kept going back into the experiences where this entire phenomenon was revealed to me. But I'm not going to go into that topic here in this talk. That is for you to find out later on. Why do I call it and inside business. Because at your navel is your direct connection with the universal intelligence. Now, universal intelligence is not your and mine borrowed intelligence, conditioned intelligence, educated intelligence. It's not that. It is the universal intelligence that has made everything from stars to a grain of sand, everything from Higgs boson to whatnot, to dark matter. That intelligence and you, the form, you are directly connected. No agents required. But at birth, when the umbilical cord is cut, there is an energetic jerk that takes place at the navel, dislodging your connection with the universal intelligence. Now, instead of being these empowered beings who can take a direct decision based and connected with universal intelligence, what do we become? Sorry to put it this way, beggars. Because now we look outside for clarity. Where do you look for clarity? Where do you look for guidance? Where do you ask for advice? Outside of you. Whoever it is, however well-intentioned they are. But it is outside of you. It's not inside. And where is the universe? It's inside of you. Where is intelligence? It's inside of you. When you feel an emotion, where do you feel it? Inside or outside? When you feel love, when you feel sexuality, when you feel jealousy, when you feel anger, does the universe feel it? Do others feel it? Or do you feel it? It's me. If I feel everything, all the emotions, then why not absolute clarity too? So I am the holder of absolute clarity. And that is my connection, the source, whatever it may be for you, each one of you. But at birth, this connection is damaged and severed very badly. And for the rest of our lives, we are looking outwards for clarity. And this creates a very deep exhaustion in us. We become tired, wounded. You don't have to imagine constantly asking for other people's validation and approval. What does that mean? Most of us who are sitting here know exactly what it means because we have designed our lives to suit our societal parameters. We want to be liked. We want to be loved. And so we make a lot of inside compromises. And these compromises cost us because we become exhausted. So the real violence in the world is not outside. It is the exhaustion within me. The tiredness within me between my gut, my heart, and my mind. I am constantly battling between three different energies within my own self about one single issue. Now, as cliched as it sounds, I want world peace. But peace is not a goal. If we could achieve peace as a goal, all the efforts that we have been making at small and large levels, we would have been peaceful as a world by now. But we are not even peaceful within our own families, within our own selves. Peace is a natural byproduct of absolute clarity. You were born with a direct connection to a timeless, unconditional clarity within you. When you're connected to it fully, you don't need any babysitters and agents for your consciousness. You're absolutely clear in life. A naturally ecstatic life. The kind of life that is built on self-trust. It's built on truth and it's built on courage. It gives you the ability to see through the fog. It gives you the power to outdo redundant paradigms and look at your own ecstatic life.
So Udumbara is all about authenticity. She's not playing mind games. She's very clear with her thoughts and her actions, and she's walking the talk. That kind of woman that she is, it's awfully inspiring. Trying to live up to that. Let my writing reflect that.
I wish the journey to awaken absolute clarity could be taught at school already, so that when we meet life, we are already equipped with our own inner clarity. All of us can only imagine the amount of suffering and struggle that would cut short for all of us.
It's not like a vaccination drive.
Not everybody can be put in one row and given a vaccine and say, now you are absolutely clear, let's run this world.
I never met a so young person so clear. I think she's a very great teacher.
It was not easy. I am an empath. The pressures that the toxic masculine paradigm puts on men like me, on empaths, and especially those men, men like me who can see possibilities beyond this existing paradigm. So I was uncomfortable, and it was challenging growing up in this toxic masculine paradigm. So for an empath like me, it was hell. Now I have a path. I have a learning. I am on a journey into diving into my own absolute clarity. Now I feel like a tree, grounding my roots in my own absolute clarity and reaching out, ascending beyond this existing paradigm into truths that I know to be true for myself and a lot of you out there. I'm closely associated with Udumbara Gesu, a being capable of holding the grace of the ascended masters and having the presence, the sharp, lightning presence of a pragmatic teacher. Imagine someone on a battlefield, a warrior facing life and death, but knowing with every movement, every moment, that their sword.
But if you are not interested in you, then you won't journey with me. Then you will be a one-time product buying customer. Which I don't mind. You can, of course, I would love to make that money.
But you're not really interested.
I'm not interested. So show me something that you have. And your resonance, your willingness to change, your willingness to work on you, your willingness to love you, your willingness to include you in your life, in your process.
What really attracted me to Udumbara Gesu was that she's spiritual, but she's also very much down to earth. She's very clear about that it's no use being spiritual or esoteric if there isn't this element of the real world into it. That's what really amazes me about her. Because I always thought that esoteric meant being a fluff ball who was hovering 7 centimeters above ground and not getting their act together and not being able to pay their rent, because there are a lot of examples of that kind of people around.
Your journey to awaken your absolute clarity is to awaken that immovable trust in yourself.
मैं चाहती हूँ कि दुनिया की हर औरत इस इनर फ्रीडम को एक्सपीरियंस करे। गेसु दीदी को अगर मैं एक वर्ड में डिस्क्राइब करूँ तो मैं उन्हें शेरनी कहूँगी।
She helps you to finally unleash the nuclear being that lies buried in all of us.